Don't you know that you're a grown-up? No games, no puns. Not allowed if you're a grown-up.
Hello again, welcome back to GenXGrownUp. I'm a GenXGrownUp. Thanks for clicking on our video. Now listen, before we get started, if you have not seen the first part of this video, Educating a Blade Runner Virgin Part 1, stop watching now, go back and watch that. I'll put the link down in the description, because if you haven't seen Part 1, Part 2 is going to make no sense whatsoever. If you have already seen Part 1 and you're here to see Part 2, welcome back. So, Mo is back.
Hey everybody.
We're together once again.
Almost cost us our friendship, let me tell you, it was close.
Now, it's worth pointing out, this will be a spoiler-heavy discussion of Blade Runner.
Alright, if someone hasn't seen the movie by now, they deserve to be spoiled. That's all I'm saying. I mean, come on.
Okay.
But
You're
right, we are going to talk about some details of the movie.
Until recently, that was me.
That was you. But you would never admitted it.
Right, so we're going to talk about Blade Runner details. If you haven't watched it...
Go watch the movie, because you should.
I was on a business trip. On that business trip, on the plane, I took the time to watch Blade Runner. I've seen it now.
Good for you.
I've seen it. Now, I'll point out, I watched it as a viewer. I wasn't watching it to analyze it.
Yeah, just
so I don't know it as the guy who's seen it 2 times like you.
That's fine. I'm not.
But I now have a first viewer's, absorption of the data in Blade Runner. So I have seen it. So I thought the first thing we would do is talk a little bit about just some impressions. Mm-hmm. And then we'll maybe we would play through our first episode
and see how well you do now.
If I now know some of the answers. So my first impressions of the film.
Okay.
It didn't grab me as that's the best movie I've ever seen.
Okay.
Right? But I can definitely see why it is so iconic. I mean, Ridley Scott he's a cinematic madman. His attention to detail but in the 2 hour whatever running time, it definitely sets up the perception of a larger universe.
Yeah.
You don't just feel like, this movie deserves a sequel.
Actually, yeah, I'm surprised it took this long, to be honest.
Yeah, you can feel like you're coming in the middle of something.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you understand the backstory. I mean, it's like,
sure.
You don't feel like you missed anything, which I thought was another really great job he did on this.
Right, and while the ending leaves it open a bit as to what's happening, there's certainly, it doesn't have to just be Deckard's story. Mm-mm. There's so much going on that there's more in that world to explore. Stuff is happening.
Right.
So, the music is another thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. The music, it's so... this came out in the 80s.
Yeah, it's
the music is so 70s. Like, just the electronica kind of stuff in the background.
A lot of synthesizer.
Yeah, a lot of synth. Yeah, it's like there's like a techno rave going on, the whole thing. It jumped out at me as good, but also radically different to what I'm used to in a sci-fi film today.
Oh yeah.
I mean, now it's a big orchestral cinematic score,
for sure.
And this was kind of a small, tight, angry little soundtrack. It was very electronic. It was very kind of tense, rather than like a big sweeping kind of John Williams-esque kind of thing. It was
it's definitely you get an impression that it was like a couple people doing the music, not like this big huge orchestra like you said, not a huge band. Guy just kind of layering sounds on top of each other kind of thing.
Okay, so why don't we take a look at some of the questions you asked me in part 1 of this
and see
if I know the answers. And so I'll tell you, I'm not sure I know every answer, but I have an idea now.
Listen, you've been able to infer a lot better now.
Maybe so.
What's the title of Blade Runner? What does that represent?
I don't know. Okay, so right in the open of the episode, you asked me, what's the title of Blade Runner? What does that represent? Well, it represents the job of Blade Runner. The protagonist he's a detective, he's a Blade Runner, he's out to hunt down rogue replicants, and so it's...
Not clones.
The title represents the job of hunting down replicants. Yep. It's that guy.
Yep, that's it.
Fair? Okay.
Yep. Okay, so here's another question for you.
Okay. I'm ready.
How many replicants, how many does he have to hunt down? How many are in this movie?
One? I only know of one. There's some girl, right? There's a girl he had to hunt down.
So, there's more than one, obviously. There's more in there.
There are more than one replicant. That's right. Clearly now, there are 4 replicants. And not only are there 4, I think I know their names.
Okay, go for it.
So there's the snake girl is Zora.
Yes.
The
gymnastics.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she's Pris.
Pris. Good.
And then the guy who's like a worker dude who's like he's kind of dim. He's the guy who shot the other Blade Runner at the beginning. Is Leon.
Leon. Yep, absolutely.
And then finally, the big guy, the main one, his name is Batty.
Roy. Well, I think it's both, actually. I think it's Batty, Roy,
okay,
or something
all right.
like that.
Okay. So, but not only are there... I know how many there are.
You know their names.
Right.
You get bonus points for that. Absolutely. Why were the replicants on the run?
I thought I knew more about this movie.
So obviously that question was that's like the
plot point.
Yeah.
Right. So why they're on the run? Well, first of all, because they would be killed if they were found, but they were on the run at all. The fact that they had come to Earth and they were being renegade was because they knew of their 4-year lifespan.
Yep.
And they were seeking out their maker to get more life.
Yep, that's it. Which is key. Like that's the whole reason for the movie.
The point.
Yes, exactly. So good. Glad you got that one.
Okay.
Where did these replicants come from?
There's a company. There's a company that made them, right?
Right, but the guy made them, right?
Yeah, not wrong. So you asked me where they come from. Well, yeah, they were manufactured by Tyrell, but that's not the point of your question. Your point was they were on now here's where I'm not totally positive. They were like on a mining colony or something.
They were in an off-world colony,
and they each had a job. It seems that the replicants are totally sentient. They have their own will and everything.
Right, but they're just slaves.
So you asked me why were they on the run,
and that's
it. They're on the run.
They want to live.
They're not so much on the run as they're on the run from being slaves because they're going to die as slaves.
Right.
They want to extend their life.
Right. Yeah. They just want to live.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
Exactly. Okay, here's another question for you.
Oh, all right. So,
how do they tell if somebody's a replicant?
No belly button? Is that right?
No.
It wasn't that.
No,
it wasn't that. All right. So the first episode, I almost wasn't wrong. I did say they had some kind of a device, but it's not the device. The device is the mechanism to perform the test.
Right.
And having been a first-time Blade Runner watcher, I'm not sure I have my brain completely around the test. Okay. Here's what I understood.
All right, fair enough.
So it's like they ask a whole bunch of intentionally confusing questions.
And emotionally.
The person giving the test, it's not like a blood test where you're positive or negative. You have to you're observing their eyes somehow. You're looking for reactions.
Yep.
And it's more of almost like an IQ/EQ test. This emotional.
It's more of an EQ, I think.
Yeah.
Because and that was the whole thing. Was because they had such short lifespans. They didn't have basically the 15, 20, 30 years of experience to have a certain response to things.
Okay.
And so because of that,
so their emotional responses
were probably slower.
So it wasn't about intelligence. It was about understanding how to react.
It was all based on emotional reactions. So they looked at things like blush response. They said pupil dilation.
Oh, so that was the point of Rachel.
Yes.
The point of Rachel, she was an experiment.
Backstory,
they embedded memories in her.
Right.
Because she had a more human-like response to those questions and those reactions.
A more normal human-like response.
Yeah. And the questions were fascinating, really.
I think the questions tell you a lot about what's going on in the world.
Yep.
Because they talk about the turtle.
Yep.
It's like, why would you care about a turtle, right? Why would we care necessarily about a turtle? I mean, we would.
Stop.
You know what I mean?
What's a tortoise?
Yeah.
You know what a turtle is? Same thing.
Same thing. The key there's one replicant that's kind of like the leader of the replicant.
Okay.
Right? But what is the thing he does at the end to Decker that is you're like.
So this is iconic. This is like spinning the top at the end
exactly.
of Inception.
It's like the spinning top kind of moment.
The last thing he does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So at the end of the movie, the last replicant.
I'm sure it has to be the fact that he saved him.
Yep.
He was hanging there with broken fingers from this ledge. He was about to die anyway.
Yeah. His time was up.
He was at the end of his time,
right.
Which is why this was so urgent for him.
And he stuck that thing through his hand to get his hand working again.
Yeah, so it wasn't so important for him to kill Decker. It was more important for him to share his message with Decker.
Right.
About how important their lives are and something about, if you could see with my eyes what I've seen and, you'd understand better. It wasn't just about vengeance or rage. He's like, okay, I've lost. killing you won't help. He had, you could argue that despite being a lunatic, he had more ethical grounding than the people hunting him.
All the things that I lived through are going to be gone.
All lost.
All lost because, that's it.
Because you gave me this arbitrary end date.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty powerful
Well, it is.
moment in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, it really humanizes the replicants.
But he also said that, it's like to live in fear. Remember, he's like, maybe he wanted him to be scared.
Because that's my entire life.
That's my life.
How did you just feel? That's how I live. Yep.
So, very cool.
Yeah, I get it. That's why that's powerful. I see why it's an iconic moment. It's like, why did you do that? Well, because it's up to you to decide.
You have watched it.
So no longer
the movie. You know the movie.
No longer Blade Runner virgin.
No more. And you can even now see the sequel.
That's right.
And understand, hopefully, what's going on.
So now I get why the excitement, right? Because there's this big universe that was only touched on in this 2-hour film.
That was it.
So Gen X Grown Up is all about the stuff that we loved as kids, and now here is that remanifesting itself in
today, right?
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
So Blade Runner sequel is coming in just a couple months.
Again, don't suck.
Just don't please don't suck. So let's just take a quick look at the trailer.
Okay.
And through the eyes of a seasoned Blade Runner veteran
and somebody who's actually seen it now.
And a fresh Blade Runner first-time viewer, and see what's coming.
All right. They kept the atmosphere, which I think is great.
Yeah. The Atari logo.
Atari.
Yeah.
No Pan Am.
Every civilization
There's tons of replicant other models or
was built off the back of a disposable workforce.
Yep. It was.
But I can only make
Louis
so
C.K.
many.
said, there's no limit to what you can accomplish if you don't give a shit about your fellow man.
There is an order to things.
The soundtrack sounds the same. Yeah, the music.
What we do here.
Well, that's Robert Wright.
Yeah.
The world is built on a wall that separates kinds.
You heard somewhere that Ridley Scott
Tell
wanted
either
to
side
do the
there's no
sequel. He
wall.
wanted to make sure nobody else did.
Oh, yeah.
Because he didn't want them to screw it up.
Sure.
Because he felt like the Alien movies, because he did the first one,
Yep.
and they kind of went. See,
Oh,
this
that's-
is more, yeah.
Yeah.
I had your job once. I was good at it.
Here's that gun.
Oh, there's another Chewie we're back moment.
Yep.
And, what do you want? I want to ask you some questions. The key to the future is finally unearthed. Bring it to me. They know you're here.
It's a dog.
Yeah.
Well, it's a real dog.
I don't know.
That was Dave Bautista.
Oh, cool.
I always told you, you're special.
Your story isn't over yet. There's still a page left.
It doesn't tell you a lot.
No.
It just says, hey, remember Blade Runner? We're doing some more. It's kind of...
It's the same world.
It's like,
the same-
look, it's going to feel like this. It's going to look like this.
Harrison Ford's in
Harrison
it.
Ford's going to be in it.
So that's the continuity between the two movies.
All right.
I'm excited. I think there's a lot of places they could go with it.
Yeah.
A lot
sure.
of backstory they could do. Pulling Harrison Ford in. I'm a little about that. Kind of curious to see how that works out.
Maybe they'll just Star Wars him. I'm just here to pass the torch and fall off some scaffolding, stabbed in the stomach.
It's over. I think I'm really looking forward to it. I'm glad Ridley Scott's doing it.
Yep.
That they didn't get somebody else to do it.
Right. Creator.
I'm anxious to see what happens.
Blade Runner Virgin no more. Hopefully,
My friend, once again.
Thank you. All right, we can now speak once
Yes.
more. So, hey, if you enjoyed any of this, we'd really appreciate it if you would click the subscribe down below,
Absolutely, yeah.
little notification bell, so you'll know when cool things like this come out.
Share with your friends.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
We're trying to get more subscribers of this, so
Yep.
we can keep doing it.
And hey, surely you have something to say about Blade Runner. Use the comments down below.
Oh, yeah.
And tell us, what do we miss? What did we get right? What did we get wrong?
You can mock me. I'm sure I said some things that were not correct, too. So,
So we appreciate you watching,
Yep.
and we'll see you on the next video.
take care, everybody.
Don't you know that you're a grown up? No games, no